this week's episode of Boruto finally came, man. I gotta say, I feel so fucking bad for Shamo. Like he had the worst. He had the worst betrayal in the arc. Like the fact that the way he got manipulated by that girl, it just really threw me off. I mean, I knew it could have happened, but it's just the fact that he's still simping for her even after the fact. It's just like, oof. Okay, I genuinely think that if this girl, I genuinely think that this girl's definitely gonna come back, but she probably is gonna develop a crush on Shamo for real this time. But regardless, I get ahead of myself. This episode is basically them trying to light up a candle and make sure it stays lit. Well, I guess before that, they found a minion of Olga that for some reason was there. I mean, I don't know. I think it would have been better if they had not found him out because he did absolutely nothing. His contribution to Olga literally was nothing. All he really did was knock down a scroll. Anyone could do that, and it's just kind of pretty damn boring that you have an actual minion that no one knew about, and you fumbled the bag this bad on the second episode. It's just kind of crazy to me. But regardless, the fact that like half of the people who had their candle lit, they decided to work together, while the other half they decided to work solo, like Rokuro and the Cloud Ninja girl and the rich person. They all decided to work together, while Yasume, Kizaru, Boruto, of course, and those four others, I can't remember, but regardless, they all decided to work together, and it's just so hilarious to me seeing how they, how Boruto is preaching the goodwill of unity, and it somehow worked. Now, because Boruto, without a second thought, give his candle to Yasume so they can all raise the bridge together. And I gotta admit that big guy, that big white guy, he is extraordinarily strong. Like he seems like he could have done it himself. Cause he seems pretty damn strong, even though he doesn't really seem that violent. And the fact that like I don't know, man. Like Shamo, that girl, man. Man, like even Boruto recognizes that he's just being used, and the fact that like she was only using him for her own benefit, using her I guess sex appeal, if you want to call it that, to try to woo Shamo over, and it's just so hilarious what happened to her in the end because when when they get to the desert, they actually have to make sure they're really careful and legitimately worth this time because this desert is apparently like a thousand degrees or something, and so their wax is melting too fast, and along with the dust storm, they really had to set up a barrier. So Shamo, of course, using the Earth must dial just to barricade it, but his wood dial is pretty damn bad. Like that thing broke so easily that it was kind of disappointing to see, and just so it's crazy to me how again like Boruto managed to unite everyone that easily. Now I know Naruto Boruto hadn't taught no jutsu, but then I'm surprised he still managed to convince them even in a life or death situation, which is damn impressive. For something like Boruto to do that while you're in the midst of a death game, I think that's pretty cool to me. But when Shamo actually, I really I really hope we see Shamo again, but in a better light because the way he asks everyone for help seemingly and gets nothing back in return. For the brief time that he tried to help the girl, he get absolutely no present, no gift, no thank you kind of reward for that. And that girl, she really did not give a fuck. Yeah, she's saying how I might break a nail. Like, bitch, Shamo saved your life. You would have broke your life. Your life would have been broken in half had Shamo not saved you. And I don't know, just kind of gonna be annoyed about that. But regardless, they all made it to the second stage of the stage, the second phase of the stage, if you will, and and of course the people who had their candle least least lit up decide to be the one on the first train. I mean, not on the first train, on the first elevator, and while the other group they're doing just they're all went into the second to the other elevator, but they realized that this elevator is way too slow to the point that by the time it we make it, the elevator straight up just gonna ruin all our candles and we're all gonna die. And they come to the realization that we're gonna be forced to steal other people's candles. And that's great and all, but Boruto's not gonna allow you to do that. Had Boruto not been there, I think a lot of people would have died easily. And I think what's most interesting to me is that well, first that the girl that Shamo loved apparently that she was tagging along with Rokurochi or whatever she wants to call him. And it was so funny to me how Rokuro he didn't even care about her sex appeal because she's just a child. I mean that just ain't gonna work on him. I mean he's a hardened criminal, so there's no way he's gonna think about saving a girl over his own life when this guy had probably killed so many people in his lifetime. That's probably why the reason that he had that bounty. So I mean, I don't know why you thought that was a good idea. That was genuinely an awful mistake. And look what it cost you. It cost you your life just because of that simple mistake of you were just being too prideful of your own. I don't know. I guess personality, your cute personality, and your sex appeal or whatever. It's just so hilarious to me seeing how she actually died just like that. And she didn't expect it whatsoever from, again, a criminal like Rokuro. And that Cloud Ninja, man. That Cloud Ninja girl, I feel so bad for her. 'Cause I get the sense that the two people she just killed will be the only two. I genuinely do see that. When we first see her actually hesitate a bit, like that, she talks a big game, but it's hard for her to walk the walk, and it's just so. I'm actually surprised that she actually did it. I didn't think she would actually do it. Like the fact that when we see her mood just completely shifts, and she had just a shitty mood afterwards, and we like seeing her hand full of blood. I was taken aback that she seemed to have like straight up just gone for the kill, and again, like the fact that she did that, it's just so wild to me that you killed two innocent people, and that's going to be on your head forever. It will always follow you to the end of time or whatever you die. And for Boruto's group, however, they decide they still not going to do that. They still going to risk their life on a mere loophole. And the loophole is they see all this wax falling on the floor, but Yasume brings a point that that Boruto and her candle mixed together, and so Boruto gets a smart idea that I personally would have never thought of to combine to mighty more the candle together into one big candle. And I think that was pretty smart though. And for Shamo, he was absolutely terrified. He would have had they actually gone to stealing and killing other people candle. Shamo would have been the first one to go easily. Like he's way too weak. He's way too gullible, and it just pains me to see this man go out like that. But luckily for Boruto's case, none of them died, and Oga and Rokuro seem to be equally shocked. Like they seem to be outright disturbed, especially Rokuro. He seems to be outright disturbed that Boruto's idea of unity actually started to work. And I think it's going to be a point where the Cloud Ninja is actually going to be saved by Boruto. I do see that being a possibility, but it's just that next preview episode. It was kind of interesting to me because I saw the Cloud Ninja girl. She still has a shitty mood, and she seemed very pissed off. I feel like she's pretty pissed off because of the weight the guilt racking around in her mind. I feel like that could be a possibility, but regardless, I think it was a good episode. How don't well, number one, don't trust anyone so fucking blindly like Shamo did, and always try to make sure how Boruto. He always tried to make sure to unite with everyone, despite the consequences. Even though he is a literal death game, the whole point of a death game is to betray as many people as you can, basically. But he doesn't do any of that, and that's what I'm glad to see. But regardless, it was a decent episode, I would say. It was pretty funny that seeing the Shama part of it, but the rest of it was pretty good overall. I would love to know your thoughts on this episode as a whole, and I will see you guys on the next one.